Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Rob, Mark,
and we've just finished playing Ethnos. Now, this is a mix of an area control game, essentially on the island map here, but also there's a bit of set collection. You're trying to play cards, and you get points depending on how many cards, as normal, you get for collecting sets. So you will have a hand of cards, and when it's your go, you can draw a card, either from this sort of face-up discard pile. Every now and then cards will get played into here, or you can draw a card off the deck. So let's say I pick this one here, and there are a number of different races, and when it's your go, instead of drawing, you can play cards from your hand. You either play all the same colour, so I could play both my orange cards, for example, or you could play all the same type. So I think I had another halfling, didn't I? So in this case, I could play 3 of my halflings, if you can see that. Now you can decide which one to put on the top, so I could put the grey one on the top, or I could put the orange one on the top. If I put the orange one on the top, it means potentially I can stick a control token in the orange area, but if it's grey on the top, then that would mean I'd have to stick it in the grey area, wherever that went. There it is, it's over there. But in order to place in an area, you need to play more cards than the number of tokens you've got. I've got 2 tokens in this area because I was yellow, so I would need to play 3 or more orange cards. So in this case, that's fine. I could play these 3 cards like this, and then potentially you can stick a token in there. And then you're also scoring at the end of each round, kind of 3 rounds for the game, for the points you've got for these sets. So I've got 3 of these, 2 of these, and 3 of these. So 3 scores me 3 points, and a set of 2 would only score me 1 point. So you're getting points for those. But then there's 3 rounds for the game, if you like, if I just flip these over. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. So at the end of the first round, or age, whoever has the most in the area scores that many points, and at the end of the second round it scores this one and then this one, and they're always sorted in order, so it's smallest to largest, so the points are getting more as you go on. Now that will be fairly dry if it was just that, but the interesting thing about the game really is that each of these different races, the different cards, have special abilities, and there's a whole pile of them, and you select how many did you pick, Rob? Is it 6 or
out of 12, yeah.
Out of 12 possible races. So the halflings actually don't let you stick any control markers on the board, but there's loads of them, so it's quite easy to get the high points for the scoring here. The orcs have this extra board, so every time you play an orc set, you get to put one on here, and at some point you can cash this in. Again, it's a kind of set collection thing going on here. The trolls, when you play sets of trolls, you get to take these troll tokens here, and whoever has the most troll tokens when comparing area control for ties wins ties, so that can be pretty important. Elves is another one we're playing for. One thing I didn't mention is that when you play a set, any cards you have remaining in your hand have to be discarded. You lose them all, so that can be quite bad. But if you play a set of elves, you get to keep all your discards. Any others that we were playing with in that set? There's quite a few other ones. I won't go through them all. The wizards, for example, when you play cards, you get to draw more cards off the top of the deck. Oh yes, that was it. We had the centaurs. That was our other one. When you play a set of centaurs, after playing your control marker, you can play another set immediately. So there's lots of different special abilities, and the interplay of how these different special abilities work and which cards you decide to play in which sets and in which order with which one on top is where the strategy lies for the game, and there's plenty to think about in this game. Your scoring points, as I say, for sets at the end of each round in the area control, whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. Rob, what do we think?
I really like it. I like games like Ticket to Ride and Royals, but I think the themes are a bit boring. So I like drafting cards and collecting sets and using them. It's much more interesting in this game. I like the fact that you've got the 6 different races out of the 12, so it's going to be different altogether. And did you mention the dragons?
Oh no, I didn't. So as you're drawing cards, if you draw a dragon card like this, you just discard it. And in the bottom half of the deck, there are 3 dragons. When you draw the 3rd dragon, that's the end of the game immediately. There's no extra round to finish what you were doing, it just stops. So it's a kind of push your luck element when 2 dragons have been drawn, waiting for that 3rd dragon to get drawn.
Yeah, so when that 2nd dragon comes out, it changes everything, because suddenly you've got cards in your hand and you've got more of a pressure to try and play them rather than just draw more cards. So yeah, it's a good game.
Mark?
Yeah, I agree. It was probably more difficult to explain how to play than it actually was to play. We managed to play this in 50 minutes for a 4-player. I do like the variation to the races, it mixes it up. Though there aren't huge, I mean they're very different, but there are silly, extreme sort of things, if anything, I want to say. And there's definitely combos you can play off. The dragons bit is quite fun because the second, for example, we had halflings which don't score on the board, but you can. There's a lot of them in the deck, so you need to get big sets. So you might be holding on to like 5 of them, trying to get the 6th to get the most points, and you've seen the second dragon come out, and you're just going, don't keep drawing, get picked from somewhere else. Yeah, it's not complex. It's fun. It's light. It handles a lot of players quite quickly.
Rating?
I think I would give it a 6.5.
Rob?
8.
Oh, wow, okay. It's good. Personally, I don't really like area controls games that much. And I think part of the reason for that is I'm just very bad at them. I don't know what it is. But I lost miserably. We played this twice in a row. And I wanted to play it again because there is a lot of strategy. There's a lot to think about in terms of how you play these cards. But I cannot get the hang of the strategy no matter what I do. So that's probably going to affect my rating a little bit, but it's so quick. That's probably the thing I like most about it is you take your turn, and before you know it, it's back to your turn. The turns just go round so quickly, so that's great. If you like area control games, I think there's lots to love here. Personally, I think I'd be on a 6.5, but it is a good game. I can definitely see that. All right, thanks for watching. That was Ethnos.